Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. And with our second episode of Resident Alien, we start 50 some years ago, back in the 1970s, at a lighthouse. Hmm, just for General McAllister's childhood took place in a lighthouse. That's where she saw her first UFO. Hmm. Well, at this lighthouse, they see an alien ship. It is a lighthouse keeper and his daughter, so could be the general. Um, and it's dropping these small pods, one of which lands on the beach. The rest hit the water. Then we flash forward to the where we left off last week. I got my Hollow Weekends mug here for some decaf. Anyway, and they are rush away from the mantid. The reason Harry is unable to change into his alien form is postulated by Sahar, because she's the really smart one, that maybe they've placed an inhibitor in Harry, and Harry scoffs at that. Although they did do a lot of that probing of him the month he was in the base on the moon. So that's probably what happened. Now that the Mantid knows they are all in danger, but Bridget says he will protect Max and Sahar, which Harry's not too happy about because he was hoping Bridget would protect him. But he goes along with it because you can't argue with Bridget. When he sees the footage of the tape of the orbs circling Kate, yeah, I kept calling her Judy last week. I don't know why. That's a completely different character. Anyways, Harry recognizes them as the gray technology and that they are looking for Kate's baby. Good thing last week Darcy took her to a family on the reservation to care for. Anyways, Harry's finding a lot of trouble adjusting to his new human body because it is human and he's not used to being human. He's used to being human form, but he was still alien, so this is all new to him. Then the next day, while Asta's at the clinic, Joseph comes in and proposes, and she has to turn him down. They can't get married. They don't really love each other, and he's heartbroken and leaves. Now, back at the police station, the sheriff's girlfriend, Lena, who is a detective in a neighboring city, big city, notifies him that in their area, another body of a headless hunter has turned up. Head bitten off. Could it be an alien? Liv thinks so. Mike's still in doubt of things. Besides, how could it be Joseph? Joseph shot at them. If Joseph could bite heads off people, why would he shoot at them? Anyways, Harry believes Joseph as a half alien, half human hybrid. Maybe he could get the inhibitor removed from Harry. So reluctantly, Asta calls him, but he misunderstands and thinks she wants him to go and kill the Mantid, and he rushes off to Harry's cabin. Meanwhile, Liv goes to talk to the mayor, Ben, but he denies being the one that told her about Joseph. So she starts following Ben and Kate as they go to talk to the florist where Joseph got the flowers from last episode. And then after they leave, she comes into question. They learn nothing. Liv actually knows how to question. And she learns someone in this town has gotten Joseph's affections. She just has to figure out who he's in love with. Anyways, Joseph shows back up at Asta and Darcy's place, where Harry is staying for the moment, missing his right arm and half his right face, right side of his face. It turns out it's a little bit tougher than he thought it was, but it did leave because it's becoming, his identity is being known by too many. And before passing out from blood loss, he tells Harry that he, as a hybrid, doesn't know how to fix him. They kept that kind of information away from him. He wasn't even allowed to use the espresso machine. Greys are such jerks. Anyway, he needs someone who is an actual Grey. If only he knew of a Grey that was on Earth, like Bruce. Okay, so here he goes online, finds that Bruce has sent him several pictures from Vegas. So he and Asta head off on a road trip to Vegas. Now, while on a date with Lena at the local bar, where they're getting back together again, Liv shows up to ask questions about that headless body they found in the woods, and learns they're going to be searching that mountain. You know, the one that has all the caves, like the one Peter's hidden in. Liv tries to convince them that she can, search those caves on her own. Shouldn't need any help. Shouldn't need them coming in there. And when Lena says, no, we need a whole team, she throws a fit. Says, oh, I thought you'd have my back being girl to girl. I see how you are. You think I'm a woman and I can't do it. Which, unfortunately, when she then goes to warn Peter, Mike follows her and discovers she's got a cyborg living in a cave. And talking with Peter gives him some very interesting information. He says, you saw an alien, you put it in your truck, and it disappeared. So now you think you didn't see an alien. Right. So what happened to the alien? What if it was real? Well, this gets Mike thinking. Down in Vegas, they finally connect with Bruce, who's having a problem. You see, Greys can't live on Earth for long periods of time. That's why they come in, take the babies, head back up to the moon, because Earth's atmosphere is kind of bad for him. And he's been dropping body parts. And they get him to his room, where he starts basically dissolving into goo. Where he unfortunately informs Asta that they cannot get the Greys to stop looking for Kate's baby. They will look until they find it. There is no throwing them off the trail. They will always keep searching. As for Harry, he doesn't have an inhibitor. They stole his alien DNA. They basically gene split him at the, they spliced him at the genetic level, taking all the alien stuff from him because they could use that. And now he's all human. He would have to find something they want to exchange it back. But as he's fading, he has to give it to Harry telepathically. And you're on my notes. And we don't hear what it is, but I think we all know who we think it is, because we cut to Darcy visiting the baby on the reservation, even though she knows she shouldn't. Back in Patience, Sheriff Mike examines the duffel bag he had put the body in, and he finds a bunch of weird goo in the bottom. He's convinced he really did see aliens. Asta goes to meet Joseph. And she apologizes. She kind of used him, to help with the manta, and she shouldn't have. And she gets him to understand he doesn't really love her. He was controlled all his life by the Greys, and what he was feeling was fear of being on his own, and so he was latching on to Asta. But he said, I felt good when I was with you. And she says, yes, because there's good in you, and I just brought it out, just like you brought out the good in me. Now you have to go and find your true self. So basically he has to go on his own. Before leaving, he leaves a note for Ben and Kate. He doesn't know where their baby is, but he knows their baby is safe on Earth somewhere. And then, in the best throwback to Gen X, the Lonely Man theme that ended every episode of The Incredible Hulk starts playing as he, with a little satchel on his shoulder, starts to try and hitchhike his way out of town. Also, the Mantid has, having left Harry's cabin, has decided he needs a new identity. And so Judy, who runs a bed and breakfast in the area, finds a headless body in one of her rooms. So he's got a new identity. And let's see, Harry has a sort of funeral for Bruce. He dumps the goo into the little river that runs into the lake. And it is revealed that what he revealed to Harry was not the baby. It was the alien pods that were dropped 50 years ago. It seems they can use that technology to formulate a weapon to destroy Harry's planet. But Harry's willing to risk it if it means getting his alienness back. And, that pod that fell on the beach? Well, that was recovered by General McAllister. So we're probably going to see what happened to her after she went into the portal. India Linda Hamilton in an episode is good Linda Hamilton, I say. Yeah, we're starting to finally ramp things up. We've gotten all the loose ends from last season taken care of, and now we can move on to this season with the hunting for the Mantid and Harry's journey to become alien again. Yeah, Tudyk, always fun. Kind of miss seeing him as the Mantid. He kind of really played evil well. But as is, always good to see him as Harry. Up there with his Joker for me. Oh, and Wash from Firefly. Please hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.